Mr. Abbott here, and it's time for another boring diagram explanation. This one is number 16, and it's going to review or go over how you construct topographic profiles. So let me start off with some directions. When you look at this, you'll see that the first thing is you'll always use pencil. You've got to use a pencil. You're also going to need some scrap paper while you are making your profile. So at the beginning, we're going to look at the map, and you have to determine the contour interval. If it's given to you, that's great. If not, you're going to have to find the interval based on the lines they've given you. And you should really label all the lines between the endpoints that you're given. So if we look at this particular topographic map, okay, I put the grid on top, but our map is on the bottom. Okay, you'll see the map here. It gives you the contour interval. So the contour interval is 20. We are doing a profile between point B and point C. My paper is going to go on this side, so I'm going to wind up labeling all of my lines here. Okay, starting with the 200. This index contour is 200. We're going by 20s. You know, this is 300. So this would be 220, 240, 260, 280, 300. This one's 320. This one is 340. Now you'll see we have a depression contour line here. That means the elevation is going down, but it has the same value as the normal contour line that it is next to. So this is 340, and that point is also going to be 340. Okay, just as a hint for later, this point in here would have to be greater than 340 because this side is less than 340. So we're going to have to go up between those 2 points. But that was step number 1, where we've labeled all the points on the diagram. Now let's go to looking at step number 2. It says mark off all the lines on it and write down all the elevations on a separate piece of paper. When you watch this, you'll have an index card. I need the index card back where you put down all the marks for the contour lines on the index paper, and you're going to staple it to the front of our boring diagram explanation. So let's go to our map. Sometimes it's easier to turn your map sideways. So I'm going to have line B to C there. I'm going to take my index card and I'm going to line it up. I do not like starting right on the edge of the paper. So we're going to label that. That's point B. And this one is at 340. Point C, which is right here, is going to be 200. Now, wherever my paper hits a line, I'm going to make a mark on the paper, and I'll even extend it onto the map so I know I'm hitting the right spot. And that one's 220, 240, 260, 280. Now, where the lines get closer together, makes it a little more difficult, so you can vary your length. That one's 300. Now we'll do a short one, 320. I go over, and this one is 340. So I've transferred all of the known elevations between my points from my map to this, my sheet of paper, my index card. That's going to be my scale model. Now, our next step is going to involve the grid. What I need to do is I have to plot all those known elevations. For step 3, we're going to plot all of the points on the provided grid Okay, I think the easiest thing to do so you don't make any errors, instead of moving your pencil up, you're going to slide the paper up. So let's take a look at this. Okay, I'll go back to the blank one that we were working with. I'm starting here. Okay, 180, my point B to point C fits perfectly. I'm going to come up, I can hold this slightly below, and I started point B was at 340. I have to keep that first mark on the paper. Oops, I missed one. I had two 340s. This way I'm going to hit them perfect. I want to make sure my points have a little bit of space to them. Okay, then I've got 320, 300. We're going downhill. 280. 260. 240. 220. And then my final point, point C, is going to be right at 200. So we went from B to C. We started at 340. We went downhill to 220. Our last thing is we have to take those points and connect them with a smooth curve. You can't have flat top mountains or flat bottom valleys, so you can't just play connect the dots. Okay, you have to go over or under marks that are consecutive when they're the same elevation, and make sure you don't hit the next line. So I'm going to connect these with a smooth curve. I showed you on the map that between the first two lines, you had two 340s. Your safest thing is to go up about halfway. Okay, and then from here, the elevations come down. Make sure you hit your points and you don't hit the lines before you reach the point. And there would be a profile that should get you full credit. Honestly, your teacher will probably have a transparent overlay, and they'll put the overlay on top of your map, and your points have to hit the measured points. So you really need to be exact and very careful when you are creating your own topographic profiles. I hope that helps.